Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. Can you smell that? It's the Sonoma aroma. I was driving today to work, as I do when I come into the podcast studio, and first smell I got was actually the manure smell of the dairy spreading a little bit out there on the fields. It's a very classic Sonoma aroma. And we have a lot of dairies out here. We've had the Strauss family on the podcast earlier, and they were talking about the cheese trail and all the stuff they do with their organic dairy, so that's a big part of it. And then I came down the hill, and the corn maze. I could see the corn maze is starting to shape up over there outside of Petaluma, and it's getting. I kind of know how to get out of it now because the corn's not that high, but when it gets higher, I will be trapped. I don't know how to do it. Then there's like hay stacking in the fields. And then I was up passing a winery, and there was that fermentation smell of grapes in their fermentation bins. And it's a very peculiar, but good smell that everyone knows when they've been here long enough. Like, oh, that's the fermentation smell. At work, before I came to the podcast here, there was a big flatbed truck with macro bins, which are these big plastic bins, tons of grapes on top of it. Classic story, visitors trying to cross the street, some people trying to go to lunch, this lumbering big truck full of grapes trying to go to a bin or go to a crush pad where they're going to make wine. They've been harvesting it probably all night. So it's that time in Sonoma Valley, and it's the best time. And for that reason, this week I have a very special guest. I know every week I say I have a very special guest, but this time I actually mean it because this person's very special. A very special guest, Robyn Sebastiani. How are you?
Happy to be here, Tim.
Good. And you're with the Sonoma Valley Vintners Growers, I should say.
Yes, I am their executive director.
Nice. And you're probably out right now crushing grapes and
harvesting
and doing all that stuff.
No, hardly. We're getting ready for Vintage Festival.
Right. So you don't actually have to go out and harvest it all.
No,
personally.
I mean, it's something that people should participate in. I mean, everything that you were describing, there's a romance to it, but also very labor intensive. So you just have to go and experience it yourself. But we go and ring the bell for the first harvest, the first pick. Right. Quite often it's Gloria Ferrar.
Good
Sparkling
job.
goes
Yes,
first.
delicious.
And they have a whole ceremony. It's fun. We ring the bell. We drink champagne. It's great. So.
And you guys did that about 3 weeks ago, I think. About 3 or 4 weeks in a harvest here, maybe?
Gosh, when did it start?
Well, time blurs during harvest, too.
It really does. It might have been a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was sometime in mid-August-ish. Mm-hmm. And we also did the bell ringing at the Mission, the classic thing there. Yeah. So we're in the thick of harvest right now.
We are. I mean, you had these great visuals about we're in such a beautiful agricultural region, but then there's the community and the visuals of the community, the harvest bell ringing in front of the Mission, to describe it. Everyone just descends from their businesses, their offices, from every public area. They descend on the Mission, all for 15 minutes, to ring the bell. And it's an absolute blast. Yeah. And then everyone goes right back to work.
And they're like, okay, it's time to go to it, people.
That was it.
And I do love it because the fire department shows up with their truck, and Saris Ranch has a water truck that they bring, and we have a bunch of little tiny bells that you hand out, and that kind of kicks it off. Well, Robyn, we'll talk a bit about the Vintage Festival in a second here, but before we do that, the Sonoma Valley Vintners and Growers, for people who don't know who that is, what is that organization?
Yeah, so Sonoma Valley Vintners and Growers, this is an organization where it's a membership organization for growers throughout Sonoma Valley and our 5 AVAs, as well as our wineries. Okay. They all join together to support each other in a membership organization. We market Sonoma Valley wine. We help with resources, events, both things that we enjoy doing together, as well as things that we're doing to raise awareness on many different levels. Okay. So, there's never a dull moment. And it's a great community. It is.
And it's a trade group, essentially, a marketing group. It's a support group at times.
Right.
You said 5 AVAs, and AVAs, just so I understand it, is a American viticultural area. Right. It's like a distinct wine growing region. So some people may not know that Sonoma Valley, while it's a physical valley, actually has 5 subdivisions in the grape growing world.
Yeah,
is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to recite them, and I'm probably going to get it wrong. Ready?
I will help you.
Okay, Carneros is to the south. Sonoma Valley proper. Yeah. Bennett Valley, Moon Mountain, and the other one.
Sonoma Mountain.
And Sonoma Mountain.
It's so obvious.
Right. It's right there. It's right there in the name. And that's neat because there are, different wineries that are, and grape growers that are famous for like the Moon Mountain Cabernet. And down in Carneros, you have the Pinot Noir and the white, Sauvignon, stuff like that, Chardonnay, that likes cooler weather.
Right.
And the valley itself being so compact, but having the bay at the bottom and the mountains at the top, you get cool weather here from the bay, really a lot of heat up the top, so you can grow all sorts of different types of grapes here.
So many microclimates.
Right.
I mean, and the diversity of grapes here is profound because of those microclimates. And to hear the people that tend to the grapes and make the wine and are, trying to tell that story, it's such a beautiful thing. Anyone can find something that they like here in Sonoma. We do many things well.
Right.
So you just have to come and experience it.
Just try them all.
Just try it.
Just go here. Do it. Robyn, people might not notice this. Your last name is Sebastiani. If you walk around Sonoma, that name appears a lot.
Right.
Were you born into this family? Like, how did you get this name, Robyn? Tell me what's going on.
My husband.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Orange County in Southern California.
The
OC. I love a beach.
Really?
Any day of the week.
Were you born near the beach side of OC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seal Beach area.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Very
They have
small.
an actual seal statue in Seal Beach.
They
I've
do.
seen it.
They do.
It's next to a taco shop. Yeah. I know it. Yeah.
I bring my girls there for a picture every year at the Seal. I mean, it's just one of the things you do with ice cream.
Right.
So it's fun. It's a beautiful place. But I went up north to Santa Clara University.
Go Broncos.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of pride around here for Broncos.
Go Broncos.
And met my now husband, Chris.
Got it. He was
going
there
to
as
school
well.
there. Yeah.
Did your eyes meet across a crowded history class or something like that?
It
or
did
like...
not. They did not.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually, he loves this story. He picked my picture off the sorority composite.
Shut up.
So he was a freshman. I was a sophomore. And,
this guy.
here comes this like macho freshman, like,
Did he have the curly hair going and stuff like that?
Yeah. Like classic Chris
Good-looking guy.
hair.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it tells one of my sorority sisters, he was like, I'm going to date her. Picked my picture.
Really?
And
what was this, like week number 2 of class or something?
Literally.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Chris.
So
I'm going to get him in here for another podcast.
And so she kept coming to our meetings, describing him to me, and I kept ceremoniously saying, absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay, little guy. You're a freshman.
So I was like, I won't meet him, which is weird for me. I love a good referral. And
always networking.
And I just was a hard pass.
Really?
And so it wasn't until we were at an 80s party.
Okay.
February of that year, a mutual friend, and he came up to me. We, of course, looked our finest in 80s gear.
Right. You like peg jeans or the Zuba pants.
Very classic.
I
Chris
love
had a American flag bomber jacket on.
Oh, yes. That was very in vogue. Yes.
And so he came walking up to me and said, "You're a Delta Gamma, aren't you?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you're my stalker." It's you. Because it's
You're
such a
the
small
guy.
school.
Right.
Everyone knows by
Right.
your name, not your organization. So it's like, oh, there it is.
Here he is.
He's quite charming
Made his play.
and made his play.
Did he do like an
and
MC Hammer dance? And you're like, that's it. This
he
guy
got
knows the
me
80s stuff.
beer from the beer line all
Oh,
night.
did he?
I'm like,
Oh, what a
okay.
gentleman. Look at that.
And that was it.
Got it. And then you're like, okay, so you guys get married.
Yeah.
But you're not in the wine business.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, I have been in medical device sales my whole career, so for about 17 years, and
Really?
loved it. Most recently with Medtronic,
Okay.
and just the travel and everything got to a point. I have
Right.
2 young girls; they're 7, and it was just time for me to be local.
Yeah, make a change there.
And I quit not knowing what I was going to do.
Oh, you did the leap of faith.
I
Good
did.
for you.
I heard
Okay.
just like leap of desperation. I don't know. It was just like, we're done.
Right.
We need life to look different. And
Yeah.
so I had been hearing about the Vintners and Growers for a long time, hearing about their needs.
Okay.
Chris was on the board for a long time.
And he was the whole time in the wine industry. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, the whole time. And so I just kept feeling drawn to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to make this, my mission to help guide the future.
Okay.
And met with the board or a group of the board just to, gauge interest,
Right.
see if it was the right fit, and it really felt like we were onto something. So then put my hat into the interview process, and here we are, almost a year and a half later.
And they're like, by the way, There's a lot of projects we didn't tell you about.
Well, when the job posted, I
Right.
printed it and I like held it up to Chris. I was like, I mean, I
Right.
think you want Jesus Christ to actually come in, like, because who can do
From
all
the
of
heavens.
this?
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
So instead, they got me.
A close second.
I know.
A close second.
And here we are.
And all right, so you've got this. You're there. You were near the wine business. Now you're essentially in the wine business. And the Sonoma Valley Vintners and Growers do a lot of great things. They have one big consumer event that they do that's coming up, and it's called the Valley of the Moon Vintage Festival. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, so this is the 127th year, which is wild. So, I mean, and it's not, it's our event that we're stewarding. This has clearly been around for a very long time. So I take pride in, making sure that this is still the community event that everyone wants.
Yes.
As well as really catering to wine consumers from all over to come and visit and partake in what we have going on in Sonoma Valley, because it's special. We all know it, and once people see it, they realize it's special too and keep coming back. So we've actually extended this. It's a 3-day weekend. So we're starting with Vintage Movie Night. It's a new event. It's going to be at Sebastiani Theater, and so there'll be wine and bites for people, and ultimately we'll be screening Call of the Wild. So we'll drink wine from Jack London Vineyard, their Kenwood Cab, and enjoy the movie. So really for people coming in from out of town, giving them something else to experience or a reason to come in an extra day early.
That's on the Thursday? So
That's that Thursday night.
Okay.
Do you want to come?
I would love to. And the Sebastiani Theater, which is, in addition to sharing your last name, is a beautiful Art Deco theater built by Samuele Sebastiani in the 30s. And it's still a functioning theater now, shows movies, but also shows performing arts, concerts. It's a classic small town theater, and it's beautiful. So
They
that'll be a
had
good
movie
place.
premieres there back in the day.
Yeah, they did. No, we had,
I mean, it's amazing.
People would fly in to do their, because, why not?
Why not?
I mean,
it makes sense to me. I just didn't really realize it.
And maybe we were like that small town to see how it would play here first before they bring it. Like,
it was actually a test.
Exactly. They didn't go all the way to Peoria. They went to Sonoma. Well, play in Sonoma. Okay, so you have the vintage movie.
So movie night, and then Friday night is our Sonoma Valley Harvest Dinner. So it's an elegant affair. We're bringing in top-notch wine. Every person is going to be placed with a vintner, table host for a paired course tasting. We actually, during our wine reception, we're really upping the ante this year and having 3 different chefs paired with 3 different vintners to provide that food and wine experience just as they're coming in. And it'll be at Gunlock Bundshoe, which, I mean, classically Sonoma. It'll be so beautiful.
It's beautiful, natural amphitheater. They have an actual amphitheater, but also the hills behind it form like an amphitheater.
Exactly.
And it's beautiful. And what do you know what chefs are going to be there?
So Park Avenue Catering will be doing the main meal. So Chef Ari Weisswasser.
with Glenn Ellen Starr and his soon-to-be opened up Stella in Kenwood.
So excited.
Permit Sonoma Willing. Every time he comes to a meeting, he's like, I had a meeting with Permit Sonoma.
Permit Sonoma.
So that'd be great.
And then Sushi Motos will be there doing, he's going to do sushi with Chardonnay. And then we have like fresh shaved prosciutto that's going to be paired with Ricci Vineyards wine. And then Glenn, we're going to have, wait, who's coming?
Sorry. Carlo with, hold on, with, I'm looking
B&V.
here. B&V. Oh, with B&V.
It's
I'm
not
around the corner.
Burgers and Vine.
I know it's called B&V, sorry.
No, but wait, it actually stands for 2 different, we were just emailing.
Really?
Carlo, if you're listening, I am feeling you. But
Great
it's
food. Great food.
Awesome food.
What does B&V stand for?
2 Italian words.
Barolo and Vermentino. I don't know.
I'm going to have to comment with what it actually is. But he's going to be doing like big Parmesan wheel.
Oh, man.
And so it's, some kind of pasta or
This is
risotto of
amazing.
some kind. Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll be doing that.
And there's going to be different winemakers at the tables. So if you're there, You have this amazing food from like 3 amazing chefs here, and then different winemakers. This sounds like, wow.
It's going to be fun.
That sounds like fun.
I know. So looking forward to that. And then we're going to have an auction. So this whole weekend is raising funds for our foundation.
Got it.
So the funds go toward grants and scholarships throughout Sonoma Valley. Really promoting a healthy Sonoma Valley is our mission for our foundation. So
healthy is a nice segue. I can't run very far, but I bet you I could walk about 2.8 miles or 5K.
You could.
So tell me, is there a chance for me to do a run?
Yes, there is an absolute chance. So the next morning,
after you've eaten all the Parmesan,
we're there, and so there's a 5K. So come for the 5K fun run. It's beautiful. Whether you're running or walking, we want to see you there.
A jovial waddle after that big meal.
Absolutely,
so,
it's almost necessary.
Yeah, just kind of get your steps in. So that's the next morning around the plaza.
It's
You're
around
doing that. Right.
Well, it starts on the plaza.
Right.
Come meet us there. Buy your ticket early. But we will take a day of signups if people have not had the chance to.
People
sign
wear
up.
T-shirts. You guys get it? Do they get a shirt?
We haven't done T-shirts.
No,
we have
joking.
swag bags for
swag
like
bags.
the first 150. We've
Hurry
been going.
up and sign up now.
Yeah, I know. We are going back and forth on T-shirts. We need more
it.
people to sign up. Make it a thing. So come back and make it a
If
thing.
you sign up next year, we might be able to do it. But you know what? Come do a big donation at the auction, and then we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, good. The fun run.
So the fun run, and then the whole plaza festival. So this is really community focused. Everyone come out. You don't need to buy a ticket.
Oh, this is just an open fair for the community.
Come and be a part of it.
On Saturday.
On Saturday the 28th. So Artisans Festival. So all kinds of different local handcrafted artists, handcrafted art. And then we have a kids zone, so lots for the kids to do. We've really upped the ante in the kids zone. So keeping all those kids busy. There's a wine bar that you can get your wine, a glass of Sonoma Valley wine while you take the kids to the kids zone. It's the perfect combination.
I like that. If somebody was like, you know what? I want to stomp grapes. Is that an option?
Of course.
What? Tell me about that.
So the grape stomp, it'll get kicked off at 10 a.m. Something we're doing is the celebrity stomp, actually. So,
Wait, we're going to stomp on a celebrity?
Oh my gosh. I mean, we'll see what happens. But it's going to be, some well-known figures around. Lineup will be published at a later date. But we'll get started, and they'll be stomping grapes all day. And this is a rite of passage, something that you just have to do as a bucket list moment. Like go up in a hot air balloon, stomp grapes.
Robyn, is it a bucket list or is it a barrel list?
Barrel list. I don't know. Do you keep a barrel list?
Have you done a grape stomp before?
Yeah. I have not competed, though, like they compete at Vintage Festival.
No, they're mean.
It's serious.
People know stuff.
Yes.
They get in your head. It's like they talk trash against you. And it's kind of slippery. And I've done it. And like you have, one person has to kind of sweep the stuff to get the skins.
The key.
To get the
skins.
Juice moving. Yeah, so you got to move the skins out of the little screen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't get as much juice.
Yeah,
so the goal is to get as much juice as you can.
Yeah, the problem is when you get a clog.
Yes, and you're like,
and you will get a clog.
Yeah.
And so it's how you recover from said clog.
Let that be a lesson,
Just like
kids.
everything in life.
Just like everything. When life throws you clogs, it's how you deal with it. Brought to you by Sonoma Plumbing. Okay, so after the grape stomp, or during the grape stomp, I hear there might be a thing with firefighters nearby.
Yeah, so
What's
the
that?
water fights. It's an absolute spectacle. It starts at 11 a.m., not to be missed, both adults and kids alike. It is one of the coolest things. I didn't understand it last year. There's so much that goes into closing the streets and whatnot. I'm like, is this going to be worth it? Totally worth it.
Right.
I mean, to see, teams from all over Sonoma County of firefighters shooting high-powered water at a keg hoisted over the street. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, only in Sonoma. And they are literally, there is a referee in the middle of all of this.
We have rules here, people.
Yeah.
And the goal is to push the keg to the other side.
To the other side.
It's the
You get a
opposite of a
point.
tug of war. It's a push a keg.
It's opposite for the firefighters.
like
So, I mean, it is so fun. You might
Yeah.
get like a little bit of spray.
I have heard that sometimes the firefighters will slightly accidentally on purpose.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, do some overspray there. And it is fun to watch. And they wear their firefighter outfits.
Oh,
They wear
yeah.
Yeah, because you got to.
They're suited and booted. They
Yeah.
are in position.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an athletic event.
And they're like for bragging
Yeah.
rights. They don't mess around.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have bragging rights for the whole year. Didn't Shelbyville win last year?
I don't. I think they might have.
I think they did.
got it. Wow.
Yeah, at
I
least
should
they
look at
would
their
tell
fire
the story
truck, see if they
that
have a
way.
banner like winner of the water fight. Before we put out your fire,
We
I
should
want you to
get
know
them a banner.
we're award winning. Yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be music too, and all sorts of stuff
Music
going on
all
throughout
day
the-
long. There's literally no way to not be entertained. So come on out. Rotary
Love it.
will be barbecuing.
Oh, good.
And raising funds. It's
Okay.
just so much fun. So
Okay.
just come and participate. We want to see you there.
Okay. And then I think sometimes you guys do a big tasting at the end. Is that
All the
right?
time.
All the time. So tell me about that.
So we'll conclude the weekend at the grand tasting at the Sonoma Barracks. There are over 50 wineries pouring. We have 15 chefs that'll be there with bites. It's an absolute blast. It's the
Okay.
perfect Sonoma night. Everyone's having fun. People pouring wine are having just as much fun as those attending the event.
Got it.
And it just makes it a blast. So you get to taste all through Sonoma Valley in one place, all the while having fun with so many people that
People
are just
there
thrilled to be
and
there.
local restaurants have little bites there,
Yep.
little stations. It's at the historic barracks, which is a beautiful area on the north side of the plaza, kind of across the street from the mission. And it's not often that you can close off that space
Right.
and have a event. So this is kind of a chance for people to really get involved. And that's the one. I mean, the Harvest Dinner is great. The Vintage Movie is great. I really like the Grand Tastings. It's
Yeah.
a chance to kind of like taste what everyone's
Yep.
working on right now.
Yep.
And within 2 to 5 years, the grapes from this harvest will be featured at the
Yeah.
next event, right?
Sometimes they're unveiling a new varietal that was just bottled, something
Right.
fun that they're bringing. We'll get emails and
Right. Some people like to kind of do
Oh,
little
yeah.
one-up secret stuff. This
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
this isn't like
It's a
stuff
thing.
that's at the end of the shelf talker there at the store, right?
Yeah.
This is some interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Before we move off this, I want to make sure the website for people to get tickets and all the information is valleyofthemoonvintagefestival.org.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Nice and short.
It's nice and short. I'll put it in the show notes.
All right,
then people
perfect.
can kind of click it there. But it's their chance to get tickets and get
Yeah.
information and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which
we
is
are
cool.
sold out already for the grand tasting.
Oh
and the
my
Harvest
gosh.
Dinner.
Wow,
I
all right,
know.
good job.
But 5K run is
Okay.
open. We still have some Grape
Got
Stomp
it.
left.
Yeah, so people can sign up to be a team in the Grape Stomp.
You can. You need a team.
You need three
two
people?
people.
At least two.
Yeah.
One to stomp, one to collect and move the grape skins off the
the most
screen
important
thing.
job.
Yeah, but you probably need people cheering for you too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that helps.
Yeah.
So bring your friends.
Don't get a fancy pedicure. I mean, you could, but your feet will get full of grapes.
So there's going to be a follow up on that.
Oh,
we
really?
have a couple. There's going to be a funny follow up on that. I just found out.
There's going to be a pop-up manicure.
You know what? There really should be.
That would be really funny. Like after the fact, like clean this up.
Yeah.
But, okay. Well, I've seen people. It's funny. They wear like white clothing sometimes, and you're like,
Right.
I hope you are not too tied into that pair
Yeah.
of shorts.
Yeah. I hope you don't love those shorts. They will be ruined.
They will be definitely.
Or else you're not trying.
Exactly. Get into it. Okay, so that's the Vintage Festival, a big thing you guys are doing. But the fun for you guys doesn't just end at the Vintage Festival, because basically you guys have a multi-year celebration going on called the Sonoma 200.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we all do. So, Sonoma Valley, this is a special time. 200 years ago, the very first vines were planted here.
Got it.
And, I mean, what an incredible legacy. So, we got together, yourself, the chamber, and a great small group of minds that really helped steward this and put it together in a way that feels authentic to Sonoma. And so, this is the year of the farmer. Such an important thing here in the valley. Our farmers that started it all, planted the vines, and continue to make sure that we're moving in the right direction.
Right.
And then next year will be the year of the vintners. So 2025 will be celebrating the incredible wine that's been made for 200 years here in Sonoma Valley. And then 2026 will be the year of community, the amazing community that has come from the wine industry. And really, we want everyone to come and partake.
Right.
And there are so many ways to participate. A vintage festival being a great opportunity, but
good kickoff way to
good kickoff for it.
Get it there. I also love going quickly back to Vintage Festival, but also about the 200. Every year, an artist is chosen to do a special limited edition poster. This year, you guys have a great poster. And it has the Sonoma 200 logo on it, which is really cool. It's like a flag. It's inside of it. I know.
Like we put a couple little things out there, and that was actually one of the things that drew me to that poster, the colors, and then they integrated that. Some of them just put the logo up there, but she was able to
is this so this is an artist and illustrator that put it together.
Yeah.
Definitely better than I can do in Canva for sure. So good job using a professional.
That's the idea. And she'll be signing posters
also,
at
there'll be
the
prints.
plaza.
There'll be prints at the plaza.
Yep, the
that's
prints
great.
just arrived.
Oh, we want one at the visitor center. Okay, cool. I really like it, and it's a beautiful sort of. I'm not an art person, so I don't know what the style is, but it's got grapes. It's kind of got that old look of the old labels that used to go on like oranges and grapes.
Yeah.
But it's also got a farmer in there. And people kind of working in the fields and really being a part of the soil, which is kind of like the Sonoma, farming experience.
Yeah.
So
that'll be available there. We have Sonoma 200 gear that'll be available. We just got confirmation that our there it is.
There's our logo for those watching on YouTube.
We have a very cool Bart Bridge patch that was commissioned, and it will arrive next
these are the
week.
hats.
The patch hats.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's going to
Really?
be excellent. You're going to see them everywhere in a hot second.
Oh, very cool. All right, well, bring some of those to Visitor Center. We can be a retail outlet too.
Yes,
so.
we need retail partners. So that's
okay.
next up.
Next up is that. You guys got a lot going on.
It's been aggressive, but like a good kind of aggressive. So lots going on.
Let me ask, you've been doing this now for a year and a bit. What have been some of the biggest things you've learned about running like an agricultural organization or a marketing organization?
Yeah. Gosh.
Other than lots of meetings.
I mean, I don't have departments.
You are the department.
I am the department.
How big is the staff? It's 2 or 3 people.
Two people.
Yeah, some contractors and staff. Yeah.
And so, just a far cry from being in, every company I worked for was.
Oh, Medtronic is more than one person?
Medtronic is more than one person.
I thought like you made your own
Pfizer.
stents, you sold your own stents. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's just like being the ultimate of problem solver. I thought I was a good problem solver before. Like now there is no one to forward an email to. Like that all comes to me. So, it's freeing in that you get to create and really drive the vision, get buy-in for the vision, and ultimately make it happen. I used to be a bit more of a number where I came from. They did a great job of really integrating people, but nothing like being the person that has to make it all come together.
Right.
So.
Okay. That's a good point. What I like about these kind of work is that the product is the community, and you don't see it as something that you're going to exploit to make money off of. It's like something you're going to promote and help, all types of business people, like small business, medium-sized, big business, people with ideas.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's also, it can be maddening.
Right.
And you can like wake up at 2 a.m. like, oh, I should have done this differently.
Right.
Dang it. And then you can't go to bed. So.
But another unique aspect is our members, they're there because they want to be. They don't have to be a member to do business in the Valley.
Right.
It's something that they're choosing. They're choosing to help each other. They're choosing to be in community with each other, which makes us all stronger.
Right.
And I appreciate that. So when they're coming with ideas, volunteering for either the board or a committee, they're there because they want to help, because they're passionate, and it makes for something truly special.
Okay.
So that's a fun piece.
It's good to have people who are motivated and community minded. But you're on boards locally. I think you're like you were a Boys and Girls Club and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm on the Boys and Girls Club. I love that organization.
They do great.
Just what they do for kids in the area is needed. Kids always need a place to go, something to do. They are that place for anyone.
Yeah, a lot of good programs that they do there. A neat clubhouse over there. Maxwell Park and everything down there. So,
Yeah.
So by the way, after you're done going to the foundation for the Sonoma Valley Vintners and Growers, why don't you write a check to the Boys and Girls Club of Sonoma Valley and help out our local kids?
We appreciate it. Michael Irvine.
Yeah, Michael Irvine can
field
send me
your
a thank you
calls.
note. He's such a nice guy.
He is.
Okay, so we covered that. Before we get into the segment where you answer some questions, I see you brought something. You want to tell me what you got there?
Yeah. West Shore wine. So this is, I also have a wine company, as if I don't have enough to do in my life. So.
Well, you're in the wine biz now, and now you're in the wine biz. So show me what you got here, and we're going to talk about it. It's a nice little can. It's what size is this? Like something else? It's 250
it's
milliliter.
just 250 ml, so it's a third of a bottle.
So let me ask you this: how come we do ounces, except when it comes to wine, we do milliliters?
I have no idea. It's a really valid question.
Oh, I'll do the sound again too. Ready? So it comes in a can. Great sound.
And
Okay, what do we got here?
It's portable. So you have the Sauvignon Blanc, and I have the Rosé with bubbles.
Okay.
So it's not full bubbly, but just a little bit of effervescence.
I'm going to try a
and
little bit
it's
here. Huh?
delicious. So it's really, that ready to drink category.
Yeah.
And it was born from basically my business partner, Meg Edwards, and I. She's a Sonoma local.
Okay.
We had young kids. We were at every playground,
Where is the story going? We had young kids.
No, kids. We had young kids.
We had young kids, and so you said
we're wine drinkers, not
Right,
beer drinkers. And you don't really bring a whole bottle of something.
right.
You kind of
And
have to be like
glass
a
can
little-
break
Glass
when
can
you're
break.
at the beach or stuff
Right.
like that, or the sandbox.
Yeah.
So you've got these little. They're really cute. Like they're
Thank you.
thin. They're not like Coke size cans.
Yeah.
They're more.
the slim can.
They're very demure.
Yeah.
So I like it.
It's deceivingly large amount of wine, in my opinion, because if you're drinking a third of a bottle,
Yes.
if you go for a second can, all of a sudden you've drank 2/3 of a bottle, which
is
for me is a lot.
That's a fair amount. 'Cause a normal bottle of wine, 750 mil, is about 5 glasses, depending on how they pour. At Olive Garden, that's probably, I don't know, 20 glasses. But it depends on how they pour it out of the bottle. So you're right. 3 of these is one bottle of wine.
Yeah. And so it's really just,
I like it.
It's single serving, so sometimes you don't want to open a whole bottle. Or
Right.
you're going on a kayak
Right.
and you're like, what do I grab? A couple cans.
Or you just want to taste. You could split this. You could pour it in a glass with your friend. You've got a little taste there.
Yeah.
And then it looks like, do they come in, are they all the same pack? Or it's a
I made a multi-pack.
You made a
for
custom
today.
multi-pack?
I did.
You're amazing.
We actually did make multi-packs, but I don't think that people really understood it online. And in the
right.
stores, it's always usually 4 packs of
Okay.
either the Rosé or the Sauv Blanc. We just got a box approved, and so that's our next step is bigger box
Putting it in a
stores.
box.
Yeah,
Got it.
and putting it in a box.
And I'm seeing a lot more wine in traditional bottles are just bottles, and they come in usually 2 types, sometimes 3. But I'm seeing a lot more canned wine out there. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a smart space. I saw Sonoma Cutrer was doing it with their high-end Chardonnay. I see a lot of, we've got the Ceres Ranch doing their blueberry wine.
Blusé.
Mm-hmm. And I see some wineries doing it, so it's a smart move.
Yeah, it's just really speaking to customer needs.
Yeah.
Because it's just not always a bottle.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Well, then that's what I like. So West Shore Wine, and you can find it online, or do you go to stores, or how do they get
You
it?
can, West Shore Wine Co. And we're also all around town. I mean, Glen Ellen Market, Broadway Market, Vineburg Deli, Cheese Factory.
All the places.
All the places.
And you and your business partner have personally squished all these bare feet.
At the Grape Stomp, you're going to be helping us all out.
That's right.
I mean,
The macro bin getting pinned. You're like, all right, guys. Another order just
This is
came
for
in.
West Shore.
Let's go. Well, all right. Well, then now we've never had a corporate sponsor for this next section. Oh, wait. Do you want to see the questions ahead of time or not?
oh my gosh, I don't know. Am I supposed to read this?
No, I'm going to read them to you. So you
All
ready?
right.
So,
Okay.
and you can, we can just do it, but here's how it works. Robyn, we have 2 visitor centers. We have one at the north side of in the plaza. We have one at south down by Jacuzzi Winery, in Jacuzzi Winery. We've got people call us, they text us, Facebook us, Instagram us, they send us reels, they carrier pigeons, whatever. So you're going to help us in a segment we call We Get Questions.
Oh my God. Are these real questions?
Yeah, these are real questions every week. I have to.
I love being helpful.
I go and I yell at the volunteers. I'm like, give me more questions. I don't have enough questions. So I got some today. Thank you, Dennis and Diane, for giving me some questions today. Okay, here's the first one we got at the Visitor Center. Hi, we're driving to Napa via Trinity Road and are looking for a beautiful winery to walk around before.
Turn around.
That's a great answer. Why are you doing that?
Oh, exactly.
What are you doing?
This is
ridiculous. But let's just say for some reason they want to take Trinity Road is a very windy road.
Yes.
And whenever people go over Trinity Road, I'm like, are you sure you want like if you're
because it like looks shorter, but they have no idea what's coming.
Their
Treachery.
stomach, yeah. Like unless you're like a motorcycle racer and you're like, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah, or an old guy with like a burro who's like a prospector. That's what I think of Trinity Road. It's like so okay. But let's say they're down here, they're going up to Trinity Road, which is halfway up the valley, and they want to stop at a beautiful winery around to just to walk. What's a beautiful place to walk?
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I know.
I don't even know where to have them stop. I have to pick one place.
Welcome to the Visitor Center.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So so let's say we're starting here at the KSVY studios.
Okay.
And I'm going up to Trinity Road.
Okay.
Is there any place you would say just stop and just walk to any winery? You can. I mean, and just so you let you know, this is not Robyn's favorite winery. She loves them all
There's
equally.
so many.
You're doing exactly it.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is when you ask the vintner lady to like name one winery. She goes, I got to name all 100 of them. How about this? BR Cone is a pretty winery.
It is a pretty winery.
It has a beautiful hill, beautiful oak trees.
Very picturesque.
Very picturesque. You can walk around that one if you want. You don't have to taste, obviously, if you're going on Trinity Road. You don't want to be tasting and driving, but you might have a designated driver, I hope. But BR Cone's an easy one. You know what I would do? I'd actually also stop at Oak Hill Farm and go to the farm.
Yeah.
And that's a neat stop, too.
Oak Hill Farm, the botanical gardens on your way.
That's a great botanical garden. Yeah. So, that's
But
it.
there's like big, beautiful properties. I mean, if people are looking for big, beautiful properties, right along that corridor, you can find so many. So
You can't. I'm trying to remember if Beltane Ranch is before Trinity or after. It might be right.
Oh,
after?
might be just after.
But Beltane's beautiful.
Beltane is stunning. I mean, there's so much history and charm just effortlessly layered in there. They do such a good job just stewarding what has been there for so long.
And beautiful. They have cattle, grapes, horses.
Yeah.
So these are all places to stop. But according to Robyn, don't go over Trinity Road. Stay here.
Stay here. Yay.
That's the answer.
That is the answer, actually.
Okay, and if you do get car sick, go down the southern route. Don't go all the way over.
Yeah,
so
please don't.
Go south. Yeah. Okay.
Unless you really have to save that 5 minutes.
Unless you're not, your stomach's gonna be up you. Okay, here's another one. I will be in the area for 2 weeks in November with my dog. I'd love help with suggestions for great Pinot Noir, Rosé, white wine, and bubbly spots,
Oh, nice.
as well as any locations that I can bring my dog along.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the one that comes to mind immediately is Vianza Winery. My
heard of
husband's
it.
the GM there.
Nice.
And incredibly dog friendly. They
Good.
love
Yes.
dogs. They
Yeah.
have dog bowls out. They have property for the dog
Lots
to
of
run.
space. It's a big open
Yeah.
space.
Yeah,
Easy,
you might meet our dog, Benelli, there. So.
Benelli the dog
Yeah,
is the
Benelli
winery dog, the tasting room dog? I didn't know that.
If she doesn't get to go to the winery, like she's visibly upset. Yeah.
Like sad dog.
Oh, I mean, a black lab at a winery treats just like, she's in charcuterie,
Black labs really like food.
Oh, they love it. And then all the pets. So the pets and the food, I mean, she's in heaven.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
a great one.
beautiful.
And they do have white wine there and Pinot Noir.
They have all of the varietals
Rosé.
listed. And many very cool esoteric Italian varietals too.
Cool labels
that
too.
you can
I
learn
like the
about.
labels.
Yeah.
All right, so Vianza is a great one, and you can also go to St. Francis Winery. Of course, they have the blessing of the animals, and they're known for their dogs. Most wineries are pretty open to
Larson
dogs.
family.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have the 3 lab
absolutely-
cab, a 2 lab cab. Yeah.
Yeah, they love animals there.
Right.
Many do. I mean,
Right.
the outdoor spaces. I'm trying to think.
Almost all of them do, and that's why we hesitate to name just one.
Right.
Got it. Okay, here's fine. I'm not going to make you name a winery. Are you ready? Here's another question then. That's a good one. Hey, we are researching our family history from the late 1800s to the early 1900s right here in Sonoma. How can we do that? How can we get some genealogy and other information?
I mean, the Historical Society?
Boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's where my office
Where's
is.
your office? Yeah. So you're right. We actually, this being Sonoma Valley, we are not content to have one historical society. We have several. But if you go to the Marcy House is where they have the Sonoma archives. Okay, the Marcy House has archives of like where people are buried and some of the genealogy stuff and a lot of neat photographs.
You might be related to our family.
You might be. Yeah, and that
1800s.
means that means they have to volunteer
At the Vintage Festival.
Vintage Festival. If you're interested in physical buildings, the Masonave House has information about a lot of the physical buildings and stuff here, and it also has your office back there.
Yeah. Boy, it's a beautiful little place. Just, mere 5 homes off the plaza. It's wild.
It is.
There's so much.
You do have a ridiculously awesome office back there. I mean, I like mine in the Carnegie, of course, and being on the plaza, but I go down yours, bike path right there.
Charming.
Beautiful. You're closer to the farmer's market.
Oh,
so
very.
You can get the fruit galette faster than I can from Baker and Cook. But Masonave House is also available for rents for weddings and stuff like that.
Oh,
It's a
yeah. If
venue.
you're having like a small event,
Yeah.
it is, easily accessible, and the gardens are just gorgeous.
Super
Robert
pretty.
Demler, you do a great job.
good job there.
They
Yeah.
just repainted as if it needed to get more beautiful. It looks just so sharp.
Oh, yeah, and I'm mad because once we did a meeting there in your conference room, and it was this beautiful like oak table. It's all polished and historic. And then when you want to have a meeting at my spot, it's like, well, we're by the public bathrooms because we don't really have a beautiful room like yours. So yeah, Masonave House is gorgeous.
Good stuff.
Here's another question. Hey, man, we are van lifing it, and we're in need of a laundromat. Where can we find a laundromat?
I don't know what the laundromat's called, but it's over behind the old Palms restaurant. That's
Thank
not
you.
Palms.
Thank you. Just
I
the
sound
most-
like a local. Finally. Oh my gosh, that was great.
You did it. You've achieved Sonoma-ness.
That
You
just-
mentioned you gave directions in relation to something that's not there and hasn't been there for years.
Across the street from Taco Bell. And then the Maxwell Center. Go visit the Boys and Girls
That's
Club.
right. So there is a laundromat over there. It's absolutely right. So that's on Verano Avenue and Highway 12. Good
Oh my
job.
God. I moved to town and everyone's like, oh, by the old such and such. I was like, that helps me not. Everybody does it.
It's the most
I'm
Sonoma
shouting now.
thing I know because it's so infuriating. I'm like, go to Four Corners. I'm like, I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, go to Bono. I'm like, I still, like, the singer for U2, what are we talking about? And they act like, how do you not know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. We do have laundromats by Whole Foods. There's one by off Verano Avenue. There's probably a couple more up in the Springs. I don't know about Kenwood. There might be one. But there's definitely laundromats.
Oh, yeah,
around.
lots of
Yeah,
laundromats.
Yeah, we have a lot of van life people,
Easy
though.
options.
Have you seen those
Yeah.
vans? They're like the apocalypse wagons that show up. They're huge. They're like the Sprinter vans. Do you guys have one?
No. Oh, Chris wishes we had one. And there's a huge lower parking lot at Vianza that I'm like, oh my gosh, if we like had people able to just come in.
Shh. Permit Sonoma. Don't listen to us.
They don't do that. They don't.
They don't do that. But if
wouldn't
they
it be
did, no, you totally could because the wetlands are right there,
I know.
and you can do like a walking trail. And yes, those apocalypse recreation wagons are amazing.
Yeah.
I see a lot of them. A lot of them pull up at the visitor center.
Yeah. It's
And
great.
they are cool. So yeah, the van lifers, we do have laundromats, and you can use them. And we recommend not washing your stuff in Sonoma Creek. It's just frowned upon. Please use a laundromat. So,
Use a laundromat.
Yeah, that's it. Final question I got. I'd like to go to the Vintage Festival. What's the website to get tickets again?
The long one.
The long one.
www.valleyofthemoonvintagefestival.org.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Here's like you memorize it. And Robyn, if people want more information about Sonoma Valley Vintners and Growers Alliance, what is the website for that?
SonomaValleyWine.com.
Okay, so it's a good spot.
And we do have other members that aren't just vintners and growers. We have incredible associate members. And so these are businesses that really want to do business with the vintner and grower population.
Got it.
They provide so much support because running a business is hard. And so having a network of trusted individuals is paramount.
So like
Absolute
insurance, but also like barrel providers
legal,
and
barrels, insurance, glassware.
the supply chain is actually, it's really funny when you think about the supply chain for wine and growing. Is that you just think it's grapes, an Italian girl squishing them, and then wine happens.
I Love Lucy, Stomping.
Exactly, but there's an entire business that supports the wine industry, and a lot of them are members of the Vintners and Growers, and the smart ones are because that gives them access.
We
to
need them.
That.
Yeah.
And they're very supportive of them, and You know, someone's got to make corks, and it's
Someone
not
has
me.
to make corks.
Yeah, I got a cork oak in front of my house, though, but no one's offered me any money for it.
Oh, shoot.
I could have been a farmer.
It could have been.
Robyn, this has been great. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
This is fantastic.
I appreciate it.
So remember, everyone, first go to valleyvintagefestival.org to get your tickets and more information. Then go to sonomavalleyWine.com for just general information about the winery. You can also Google West Shore Wine Company, which is
WestShoreWine.com.
Get some information there. Yeah. After you've done all that, please go to SonomaValley.com for deals, special offers, and events. Find out what's happening and hear more about all the great harvest and into the holidays that are happening. Mom and Dad, hope you're having a fun time. They're listening to this in Africa, so what must be nice? Have a great trip. And Larry, thanks for all the texts. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.